Hello everyone and welcome back to the allotment. It's really hot. It's a very, very hot day in the UK. We're having a little mini heat wave and swarm, but there's been so much growth at the allotment. I'd love to say that it's growth for my plants. I think it's more growth for the weeds, which I will show you at some point today. Now, my main focus for coming over here today, I mean, obviously I need to water absolutely everything 2 or 3 times over because it's so dry, and I've noticed that my radishes are starting to bolt, which isn't too much of a problem because, in case you're not aware, they do form like these really lovely seed pods, or they go on to become seed pods when they've bolted, and they're really tasty, so it's not the end of the world. However, it wasn't what I had planned for that particular row of radish. So everything needs watering, but the thing that I really need to do is harvest my garlic. It has been ready, I would say, for a few days. I've got quite a few sort of yellowed outer leaves. Now, about my garlic, I think this is going to make its way into the thumbnail or into the title or something, but my garlic was sown from Tesco's organic garlic. I took 2 bulbs out of the 3 bulb packet. I think a packet costs about £1. I'll try and put something on screen to show you how much it costs. And actually, considering I bought it last autumn, the way prices have increased, it was probably even cheaper then. So I reckon I spent about 75p on my seed garlic. Am I recommending that you do this? Not really, at least I don't think I am, but I'm on an incredibly tight budget with my gardening. Such a tight budget, I just couldn't afford the seed garlic, and I thought for 75p and for a bit of space at the allotment, I put, I think, like a few cloves in at home in tubs, and I have actually pulled those up and they were weedy and pathetic. The garlic at the allotment looks a lot better than that. It's not going to be like the massive sort of like this kind of size garlic bulbs that you get when you've used proper seed garlic. But I guess what I'm curious about is whether the 75p was reasonably well spent. Have I managed to get more than 75p worth of garlic up from sowing a couple of bulbs of organic garlic for cooking with? So I think we're going to start there. Let's do the garlic harvest now, because in the space that's created, I have brought a few plants up with me. So we're looking at watering, harvesting garlic and getting some plants out into the ground. Let's start with that garlic. So this is the garlic. This is what we've got. It looks like it's got some rust on it. That has come on very recently. It wasn't like that. Oh, I've missed escape on this one as well, which won't have helped with the size of bulbs. But as you can see down here, they formed something. I can see a bulb down there. So let's dig this one out actually. Now, the first thing I'm noticing is that some of them have got quite thick stems. Others have got like pencil thin stems, so they aren't going to be any good. But I think some of these fatter ones might actually have something worthwhile at the end of them. So let me get a trowel and see if I can just ease this out of the ground, because it might be a bit hard. I'll try not to damage it. Let's see, what have we got? Oh, I can hear the roots ripping. There's something here. Right, what have we got? Oh my god, that's actually quite big. That's quite big. Look at that in my hand. That is a proper bulb of garlic. This is bigger than the bulb it came from. Like, this is bigger than like the standard set of 3 that you get in a pack. What has happened here? What the hell? This is huge. I mean, I could see a bit of it here, and I could see that a bulb had formed. Okay, so that one's good. Let's try one of the pencil thin ones so that we've got that for comparison. Let's go for these, like, what's bound to be quite pathetic, I think, at the front here. Easy to do this one-handed. I have left my... Oh, even that's not too bad. Right, let me sit down. This is now serious garlic business. Okay, so that's small, and that is like that's smaller than the ones that came in the supermarket pack. But I mean, what, it's split, hasn't it? It's split. You can see all the individual cloves in there, and that's a skinny one. Right, let's compare them. I'm sitting on wood chip and there's ants at my allotment. This is such a bad idea. Okay, so this here, that's the kind of, I would imagine this is going to be one of the biggest ones with quite a thick stem. And then this is what I've got from a little skinny stem. I mean, that's probably 50p worth of garlic just in that one. And it's organically grown as well, isn't it? So organic seed garlic and organically grown. Right, let's have a look at some more. Ta-da! This is the finished harvest of garlic. I think this is really good for supermarket garlic. I mean, this is a lot. I'm so pleased. I'm actually blown away, especially by some of these larger ones that are just like, that could pass just about for one that's been grown from proper seed garlic. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel a layer of like skin off these so you can see the lovely purple colour of them, and they will be ready for drying out, which I will probably do in my back garden. And what I need to do is, you can see where I've kind of soaked this bed once already, but I didn't soak the garlic. I wanted that to come out dry. I'm now going to sort of soak this patch, go over the entire, oh look at this, isn't this like the most perfect looking lettuce? Oh, hold on, there's a leaf that's not perfect. Let's just, I'm such an idiot, but I'm going to take that off carefully. Look at that. perfect lettuce. I don't know how well you can see it, so because it's so bright and sunny, the sun is on the screen of my phone at the moment and I can't see properly, but lordy, that is a good looking lettuce. That is a handsome lettuce. And then look, my beans. I have bought another archway actually, just mention that while we're here. Can't remember if I've already told you, I probably have. So I've got this archway here for the beans to climb up, and then on this side I've got a, where are we, passion flower here. Oh, that needs some encouragement to go up. Look, you've got tendrils, mate. Use them. That's what they're there for. I shouldn't be having to do this for you. Yes, so we'll come back and deal with him another time. Same here. We have tendrils. So this is a clematis. It's meant to be climbing up here. I think what I might do is I might put some extra string on this side like I have the other side. It's quite wobbly. But I'm still pleased with my construction. So yeah, so kind of fruit and flowers on this side climbing up, and then veg on this side, and hopefully I'll always have veg climbing up on this side. I'll alternate it between beans one year and then probably like a climbing courgette or squash or something like that the following year, and kind of rotate it around like that. So yeah, I'm going to give this bed another soaking. I'm also, while that's just drying out a little bit, going to soak this middle bed, and then I'm going to come back and deal with the garlic. Right, I finally think I'm recording something of educational value here, and also forgive all of the dog hair that's on my dress. I went to see my dad's puppy and he just kind of molted all over me. Anyway, can you see old mate there? That is an allium leaf miner. Now I'm aware of sort of having them at the allotment. What it means is that, I mean, obviously I can kind of get into all of this garlic and I can squish them all. I won't do that in front of you. But it does mean that this garlic isn't going to store very well. Again, something that I was aware of, and what I'll end up doing is a lot of it I will probably use green, and then the rest of it I will just chop up and freeze. And the other thing that I'm definitely going to do as well is, look, you can see the ones that I've pulled some of the papery skin off already. Some of the bigger cloves, I will be keeping those and using those to grow my garlic from in autumn. I've not done that before, so I am going to have to look up kind of how to do that and how to store it when you're going to use it as seed garlic for the next year. If you have any hints and tips, then please let me know in the comments. But yeah, old matey there, he's having a whale of a time on my garlic, but perhaps not for much longer. Even more educational content. Can you see? Can you see what they do? It's kind of burrowing into the garlic. So there is a little allium. You can see that it's got like a little kind of burgundy body. And one of the ways to avoid this, so there's nothing you can really do about allium leaf miner, but what you can do is harvest your garlic slightly early before it gets to that stage where it's actually starting to get inside the garlic. So as I'm prepping this for kind of for the freezer and to cook with and stuff, I will just be keeping an eye on that. Most of them are just going to be like the other one, and they're just going to be sitting in between the cloves. They won't have done much damage yet, but I am a little bit late harvesting this garlic, and it's given them the chance to make a bit of a meal of it. But yeah, there he is. Now look at this. This is not bad. Let me stand so that my shadow is out of the way. This is the total garlic harvest that has cost me about, well, no more than 75p. And I mean, there's quite a few here. Let's count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, kind of 27, we'll say 26. Reasonable. Oh look, I've missed a scape. I've missed another scape. Yeah, what did we say? Yeah, 26 pretty decent garlic cloves. Bulbs. I mean bulbs, not cloves, bulbs. This is just amazing. I'm so thrilled. Now, I've left these here on the wood chip because they're not going to be in the way of me getting on with some more watering and planting and stuff, and I don't want them to kind of get wet now in any way, shape or form. I want them to dry out probably just for 24-48 hours, because like I said, I will be processing them quite quickly because of the allium leaf miner. Now, what I want to get on with next then is, I've brought some plants with me. Oh, let me show you those first. Right, let's do things in order, Melanie. Let's not just, you know, start rambling and not actually get anything done. Right, let's show you what we have here. There's one that's been eaten there, but these are dwarf French beans. We have a survivor, and I thought these odd ones, so I have got a whole container full of these at home, but these odd survivors, so we've got 3 in total, both of them have survived in there. I thought they will be great just to pop into some gaps in the polyculture bed, so that I've got, you know, a bit of everything growing in there. And then I also brought with me, and these are quite small still, courgette golden, or golden courgette if you will, and a Turk's turban winter squash. And then also in here is a black beauty courgette. So I thought, and I've got loads of courgettes at home I should say, so I thought courgettes and the dwarf French beans just into some gaps along there, and the Turk's turban I kind of thought, so the potatoes are finishing here, and then I've got those all that's all the paper from the garlic that I've not put away anywhere yet. I've then got this kind of patch here that might be quite good, and look, it can kind of ramble off as it chooses, but basically the bit that it's going to be planted in could be somewhere along here, and if I get the direction right, so that's the first true leaf and it grows in the opposite direction to that, so if I want it to grow this way, I need to plant it like that, don't I? So yes, so a little bit of weeding, watering and planting. So in a minute I am going to show you all the different things that I have managed to get done. I've actually done some weeding as well as planting out the things that I've just been showing you, because I've realised that little and often works really well with the weeding. The only thing I will say though is when you get the weeds at the absolute perfect size, they are so easy to pull out. If they're too big, then they're a bit too tough and they've taken root too much. If they're too small, they're almost like they're not strong enough to just be pulled out. And they end up like the leafy part ends up coming away in your hands, and it just, yeah, you just make the situation even worse. But when they get to a certain size, and I think a lot of the things I'm digging up, they're like little thistly things, when they're about this big, they're perfect for pulling out. Yeah, I love it here. I've never come here at this time of day before. It's probably heading towards about 5 o'clock now, and I must have come over here at maybe 3:30. I've been here for a while. As usual, it doesn't look like I've done that much, but I swear I have done loads. Speaking of which, let me show you and show you what I've done, and then we'll think about like things for next time, things that I need to get done the next time I am here. So let's start with the polyculture bed then, and I have planted out the 3 dwarf French beans just in this little patch here where the garlic sort of came from. There's still a massive gap here, but I have got loads and loads of plants at home ready to come and plant out anyway. I've deadheaded the poppies, not like completely, you can still see there's a few heads there, but I have done some deadheading of the poppies just to see if we can get a few more flowers out of them. There's my perfect lettuce. Let's admire it. Let's admire it. I'm not picking it yet though. Given everything like 2 or 3 kind of soakings, everything is kind of looking okay. The calendula's looking fine. This kind of mound of lettuces, I think there's probably about 6 in there. I did pick out 2 of them and plant them somewhere else. I can't remember where. Somewhere on this bed, I think. I found some gaps and just popped them in. I kind of transplanted them. Carrots are looking okay. I pulled up the spinach that had gone to seed. The other thing that I was thinking is that everything on this side next to the grass understandably isn't growing as well as the stuff elsewhere on the bed because it's competing with the grass, which made me think in place of the spinach I needed a bit of a thug. So I've got the courgette Black Beauty in that corner because I think it can handle it. I think it's going to be strong enough. I might pick a few of those chamomile flowers actually. Let's do that quickly. Let's grab a few of those. I don't know if I can do it one-handed. Yes, I can. Oh, there's a little knack to it. You sort of pluck them off. I can't see what I'm doing. What I do want to do though is actually keep some of the flower heads for seed because they're beautiful and I'm going to make some chamomile tea. So I'm just going to take maybe 1 more and leave the rest to go to seed. The spring onions are just, yeah, they have not enjoyed themselves here. Oh, is this where I put the lettuce? No, this is, what did I do with that lettuce? I think it might be, oh, they're there, it's those 2. That's where I transplanted a couple of lettuces to. And then I've got the golden courgette here, in a space where I had some, like a volunteer potato plant. And actually when I dug it out, I dug up, I think, 3 potatoes. And then I did the same thing over here. I dug up a little volunteer potato plant and I got, again, like another 3 or 4 little potatoes out of it. So I have a tiny little potato harvest. The reason why I pulled them up though is I realised that there's birds fighting in the cherry tree. I think, do you know what? I think the blackbirds are already going after my cherries and they're not even ripe yet. Anyway, yeah, so in this bed, I think they get blight, but they also get something else. There's like tiny little grubs in the soil that I can see are sort of trying to sort of eat into the potato. I don't really know enough about these grubs, but I've turned over the soil hoping that that blackbird is going to come back and come and eat some of the grubs. That would be good because I don't ever want to grow potatoes in this bed again, basically. And I didn't want to encourage kind of any disease onto the other potatoes which are coming up over there. I've picked a little bit of the chard, which I'll show you in a minute. That is getting that same, like it's a leaf miner thing, and I can't remember what it's called now. It's some kind of leaf miner grub. Again, they are a nightmare because they overwinter in the soil and are just, yeah, they're really problematic. I don't quite know how to get rid of those because they kind of, you can see they have infected all of last year's overwintered chard as well, which I haven't got rid of yet. Not until I've brought up some plants to kind of take their place. The carrots here, oh, this is what I was going to show you because I think this is exciting. Can you see some orange there? Can you see some orange? Oh, I don't want to touch them too much. I mean, it's a bit late now, really. Can you see? I've got a carrot. And then also, again, it won't focus on the bit I want it to focus on. Basically, I can see another bit of orange in there as well. So what I'm hoping is that the little gremlins that have enjoyed the potatoes in the past, hopefully they do not enjoy carrots. Shall I pull that carrot up? Oh God, I want to pull the carrot up. Should I pull it up? No, I'm going to leave it. I might pull it up next time though, because it's just too tempting. But they are doing great. Like these carrots, I need to double check the variety. I say this every single time, but they are just doing so well. The beans are starting to climb up the archway, so that's really good. This one's not doing quite so well, but again, this is the one that's closest to the competition of the grass. The borage has got some flowers brewing, and then yeah, these beans along here, they're just waiting for the next archway to go up. So we'll get onto that next time we're here, I think. And then we've got some cosmos that's coming up quite nicely. Lots of these little thistly weeds that I still need to pull up. And yeah, I mean, we saw this earlier, didn't we? All I've done is tried to encourage it to grow up here. It doesn't want to though, does it? It does not want to. Anyway, yeah, so that's all fine. We've got my garlic harvest over here, and then have watered the potatoes, have watered in my Turk's turban squash that's actually slightly pointing in the wrong direction. Just it's slightly not quite at the right angle, which, considering I explained what way it needed to go, I haven't done it very well. It's kind of going to grow that way. I kind of want it to grow that way. So we're about, I don't know, 30 degrees off, but never mind. And I've done a tiny bit of weeding along here. I just wanted to like free up the lettuces. So these are the only lettuces that have germinated along here. I will sow another couple of rows once I've got rid of all of these weeds. Absolutely thrilled to see that my parsnips have germinated. And I hadn't even realised it. They'd been so buried by the weeds. But I'm well chuffed with that. And also the tomatoes, they're not doing great, but they're not dying. So I think we're okay. I think we're okay there. The things that aren't doing so well though, the radishes are just being nibbled on by something. I think I mentioned that earlier. I've picked some of these white ones, which I'll show you in a minute. The beetroot seems to be okay, but because it's in the same family as chard, I'm worried it's going to get the like the little leaf miner bug in it. But you know, as long as it doesn't affect the root, I guess it's okay. Still some more weeding to do in this bed really. The Mitsuna, I'm pretty sure this is not slugs, I'm pretty sure it's the birds. So I almost need to create like a tiny little cloche, like a little mini cloche, just to go over the top of it, because it's alive and I reckon it could grow back, but it needs a helping hand. Weeding that needs to go on here. And yeah, these radishes, some of them are going to seed. They haven't done very well at all. My preference is definitely these white icicle ones. They seem to do a lot better for me. Just like the round kind of like cherry bell ones and stuff, they just, I don't know, they just don't really come to anything much. So yeah, let's have a look at my little harvest. We've got some white icicle radishes there. One pea is ready, which I will probably eat, or I might open it in front of you. I'm not sure that the peas are particularly big, but never mind. We've got the 3 garlic scapes that I missed. They're probably going to be a bit tough now, I reckon. They've gone a bit too far, but I'm still going to eat them. Tiny little lettuce that I was going to transplant, and then I thought, no, there's a sandwich in that. And then a few leaves of the chard. Actually, can I be educational again, I wonder? I'm trying to see if there's a little patch of eggs on the back, so you can see the little bugs, and I think I've wiped them off. Well, I'm sure they'll be back. Oh, no, 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 look, I can see, can you see them? Can you see? Can you see? These are normally underneath, but I think where the leaf has curled round, it thinks that this is underneath. But yes, so these little eggs will turn into like little maggoty grubs that will just start eating the leaf, and they'll kind of tunnel through it, and they're horrible. And I hate them. So yeah, tiny little, oh, and these are the little potatoes. Can you see here though that the damage that happens to the potatoes in that bed? I mean, I will kind of peel that very heavily, and there'll be something usable underneath. And then these ones, the younger ones, smaller ones, are really smooth and lovely. So yeah, a few little spuds. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the pea. Pop it. Let's see if we've got any maggots in here, because you know everything else is a bit maggoty. Oh no, look at that! Woohoo! Peas. Hey, you and my friend. You are looking good. They look good, don't they? Don't they look healthy? I was not expecting them to look quite that good. Amazing. Right then guys, that's it from me. Thank you for hanging out at the allotment with me, and I will see you again next time.